So good morning. This is such an unexpected video that I'm making because last day I asked you, what do you want to know about the e-learning industry? And if you want anything, I can share my personal resources with you. That a story has more than 2000 replies. And it tells me that I should actually make a video probably and show how to do research and how to find out these resources. See, I can tell you exactly which resources to look at and I'll do that. But I also want to show you the process and how this industry works so that you can make the best of the money that exists and that is going to grow here. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get started. And I'm going to delete this video within 24 hours because I'll be sharing some sensitive details within this video. And I do not want it to be publicly up on the internet for very long. So make sure you watch it till the end if you've started. Otherwise, say bye-bye. But yes, I'm going to share every resource and I'm going to tell you my whole process. So why should you listen to me? Because I think the strong why is always needed. This is a page from my own portfolio. And this is the kind of results that I have created for my clients. Here you go. So this is actually, so what I do in my portfolio that I send to my clients or future clients rather, is I show them what kind of results I have created. All right. And mainly it's organic, but a little bit of ads as well. My agency does that. So if you see, this is the kind of money I have been able to generate in the markets, mainly without ads. Okay. Some ads we have run, but then that's not a part of our core service. And especially for most of these screenshots, these are projects without any ads. So for example, in this one, we generated almost 18 lakhs in a single month. In a single day, the revenue was around 6 lakhs. And in this month, for one of our clients, we have been able to generate almost 21 lakhs plus without any ads yet. Okay. And that is crazy. It's just 3 weeks. So this is the kind of results that you can create when you understand this industry. There's a lot of money in this industry, but not everyone knows how to get it to yourself. And don't worry, yaar, I see these people all the time that how is so much, just a second. Yeah, I'm still recording, but I think my screen share stopped. Oh, yeah. So a lot of people ask me, how is this much money possible? Is it real? Is it not? Guys, it's a 100 billion plus industry right now. It's growing every year. How can you think that you can't make just a few lakhs in it? I'll say even a few crores in it is easily possible, provided you know how to play your cards right. And I'll show you that today. So in the e-learning industry, there are two major types of industries that are kind of forming right now. A is the startup industry where people raise funding and they create a platform which has courses and communities and classes, master classes, workshops, webinars. So examples of this would be platforms like Skillshare, Udemy. These are not people, but rather brands which make learning possible. All right. So A is that, and you will see a lot of creators also trying to get into this industry. For example, Nas Daily is making Nas Academy. There's a lot of people who are trying to create this model because it's very scalable. Okay. And the second one is where creators are creating their own courses and they are selling it. They are not a proper startup. They often tie up with a startup to do this. Okay. But examples of that would be people like C.A. Rachana Ranade. There's a lot of other creators as well in e-learning industry. For example, you might know someone called Digital Pratik. So even he has a lot of e-learning materials. Raj Shamani has a course on speaking, but I think it's hosted on the first kind of platform I was talking about, which is Growth School. So these are the two major segments of e-learning. It depends on the entrepreneur or creator which path they want to follow. In the personal brand part, mostly there's no funding involved. They just create a course, start marketing it to the audience, which is mainly the market I work with. Okay. But there's another market, which is the startup market, where startups raise a lot of funding. They'll raise like 500K, 1 million in funding, and they will start creating all of this. So both of these industries you can work in. I have a little less experience in the first industry. I like working more with personal brands more because I was a creator first, and I find it very easy to work with creators. So, but I will give you resources in all these aspects. So do not worry. I'm gonna help you out. Now I'm gonna start sharing my screen, and I'm gonna show the exact resources you need to look for to learn all of this. And the key word here is going to be case studies. See, building 7 and 8 figure businesses, there's no courses for that. The course will just tell you what is the idea, how to make an idea, or how to pitch to people. But no one can actually tell you how exactly to build a 8 figure, 7, 8 figure business, because it's not something that is that teachable. However, courses case studies help you a lot in understanding how other people did it, so that you can replicate that for your success. All right, so that is what I want you to keep in mind as we go further. Okay, let's start sharing the screen. Okay, the first case study I want you to look at is this case study on Jonathan Levy. Okay, so this case study would be titled, think of a case study, how Jonathan Levy built a 7-figure online course teaching speed reading and memory skills. Okay, so this is really important. This is one simple course on speed reading and memory skills. Okay, and he has made over $1 million selling that. Okay, that is amazing. You can read everything about how he did that. Okay, how he validated the market. Okay, market demand is very important before any e-learning product is created. Okay, for example, these days courses on finances, jobs, business are doing really well. However, 2-3 years ago, a course on Instagram, would like how to grow on Instagram, used to do massively well. These days, not so much, because Instagram has gotten more saturated. More and more people already know about how to grow on Instagram. Okay, Reels has made it easier. So currently, if I were to make a brand new course, I would rather make it in the business or jobs industry, not in specifically Instagram growth industry. That is something that I have observed with some clients I have worked with and people that I have like really analyzed. So moving forward, they talk about how many reviews it has, how many enrollments it has had. So like 75,000 student enrollments is like a big number. Okay, they grew organically. So you can read how they did it. Okay, the way they're presenting it, trusted by this many people in this many countries. So this is what you're learning. How are they marketing it? How are they talking about it? Are they simply saying that it's a course? No, they're not, because it's not. This course will teach you how to hack your learning, reading, and the way they do it. There's a free trial available as well. So notice all these things. See, the secret to growth as a freelancer is not getting spoon feeded and buying a 10,000, 20,000, or even 1 lakh course. It's in observing the details. Okay, so I sometimes I contest that being a freelancing is lot like being a detective. You need to find out what is working without making it too obvious. So definitely read this case study end to end. Okay, the advice and everything. Find out what is your differentiating factor. Why should someone pay you or your client in this case, in case you're learning all this to help a client out. How to make a marketing plan for your course. Here's a nice layout of what a marketing plan should look like. And see, this is what you read case studies for. This is so simple. Either you run free, make free content, or you get run ads. The strategy they followed was a webinar replay, and they are asking them to buy a course in the webinar checkout. And at the end of the webinar, there's a checkout page. If someone actually goes through the checkout page, they get a certain email. After the webinar, they get a certain email. Okay, in the email, they are often asked to go to the checkout page, second email. So there's a lot of map here and there, but that is more or less the process. You learn about MVP. MVP is basically minimal viable product, the base level of a product that needs to be created before it can be sold. Different tires in your sales. This is not a strategy I agree with though, however, or not something I want to implement personally. But see, I know what I want to do because I have read all the things that and all the possibilities there can be. Okay, so for example, when it comes to my personal e-learning business, I will probably not have a lot of products. I'll have one signature product and that's it. Okay, but there's a lot of people who have many different products, okay, different tires there, and there's nothing wrong with that if it's relevant to their industry. I mean, no problem with that at all. It's just not a strategy I personally resonate with. So this is the first case study you should read because it gives you an overview of all the essentials without beating about the bush a lot. All right, now the other one you should read is from Neuromedia. Okay, and it is called How We Generated Seven Figures for a Lending Company in Less Than 3 months. So this is a case study on how they helped a company out. It's not exactly e-learning, but the case study is really worth a read. The way they have done everything, studied the competition, analyzing the data, their team, what has already worked in similar markets. Actually, businesses are pretty similar and businesses are pretty simple as well. It's just people who keep wondering about 100 questions and don't even do anything. All right. There's an 8-figure study on this website too, which you can check it out if you want. But definitely give this a read if possible. It's not going to be that relevant, but you love the data, you love the numbers because it gives you an idea of what the market is like. Okay. Now, another one you can read is from Alex Catoni. All right. Not this one specifically. I liked, oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. This one itself. So this one is on how Alex built her business. Now, why am I showing you these businesses? Because I know these are very legit businesses. There's a lot of fake courses or people who are not really that good at what they do, who have also made a good amount of money in these industries. But I'm showing you some experts and some legit people who have done really good jobs. So Alex is definitely one of them. I have interviewed her on my channel as well a year back, and she's amazing. She started working at Mindvalley, which is another of the case studies we'll have when we go into the startup section of e-learning. Now, so Alex has broken her journey down from her first video to how she grew, how her channel started blowing up, what were the first products she created. So she started with a challenge, okay, and not exactly a course in the beginning. So it's not, e-learning is not just courses. A lot of people think e-learning means that you sell a course. Any sort of learning material qualifies as e-learning. Okay, there are people who have these WhatsApp courses where they just send a text on WhatsApp every morning, and even that technically qualifies as e-learning only. Okay, now she has just shared a few learnings, and the thing that I really like about this is it's very simple, but I do wish that there were more numbers inside because I think numbers help me a lot more than anything else. The next one you should read is a case study on Melissa Griffin. Okay, it's an article on Medium by Brandy Willets, and she has broken down her whole journey. Okay, Melissa was always very public about her income and how much she was growing every year. Okay, she went from 19,000 to 2,000 and 200,000 and 83,000. 283,000. Oh God. But she has broken down all her strategies. So basically she does Pinterest. So I've also tried to give you an assorted variety of projects. Okay, what is an automated webinar funnel? What are the tactics she used? How she promoted her webinar? The results she got. And I think one of the things that you can really learn from Melissa is Pinterest and blog, because that's not a strategy a lot of people use in this industry. And you can also read this on Melissa's site, which is about one of her students and how she grew an email list of 5,000 subscribers and had a $20,000 course launch. Now, this number doesn't feel that big when you think of like numbers like 7-figure, 8-figure, but this is a very realistic case study. See, your first e-learning project or your first client ever is likely not going to make crores, but even if you can help them make a few lakhs, it means something. Okay, so you can totally read this out. Okay, it is a pretty lengthy one. Okay, how she engaged, and this is very lengthy, and you know how she's interacting with people, how she's sending emails out to them. That is something you should definitely read out, because you know creating results is not that hard, but you need to know exactly how to tap into people's hearts. Now, this is all about some nice case studies you can read. You can always just take up this term, this keyword, and just search something like how to build and use the word case study, because I like case studies very much. So you'll get a lot of case studies that this way, okay? And you can figure out which one you're most interested in reading, okay? I think I really like, what do I like? This looks interesting. Okay, this is something that I found very interesting, but you can do your own scroll. And I won't waste much of your time here now, because we have to go to the startup section of it all. There's two brands I really want you to look at: Mindvalley and Masterclass. Both of these are e-learning platforms, but they are like much better, and I think much better examples than Skillshare or Udemy. Okay. So Mindvalley is started by Vishen Lakhiani. You might already know him. So you just search Mindvalley case study, you will get to know about how it grew. It started in 2003 in Malaysia. It has like 3 million learners worldwide. I've forgotten what exactly the fee was, but then it's like more than 100 million in revenue for sure, minimum. You can check out how they have used various platforms for growth, like Quora for business. Okay, they have used HubSpot. They have used how they grew their YouTube channel. Like all the sections of growth for Mindvalley, you can find just by searching Mindvalley case study. Okay. Award-winning case study for Mindvalley by AdSpy. Okay, this is something I have not read before. This is about the top 3 ads of Mindvalley. Okay, so how did those ads perform? What they talked about in those ads? What was the copy in those ads? Can you imagine? You get these amazing insights about a company and their whole campaigns just by searching. But why haven't you done that here? Why don't most people do that? Because they don't even think about it. Okay, is it that hard to think that a company name and a case study will actually give you a case study? No, right? But most people don't do it. What kind of CTA they used in the ad? So this is mainly ads case study, but they have various case studies available. And the other thing that I want you to do now, the other one that you should look at is Masterclass case study. Masterclass is similar to Mindvalley, except that the quality of experts on it is like much more different and brilliant. Like they have experts, they are like Neil Gaiman. They have experts like Margaret Atwood. They get like the best of the best industries. So Masterclass has like the best of the best in every industry. They have you have to really have to pay 13,000 at once for the whole year. So that is pretty expensive. It has classes from people like Marcus Brownlee, Maria Carey. Oh my God, they have like really improved this since I last saw. Anyway, coming back, you can check out Masterclass's case study as well, how Masterclass gets its customers, how their conversion funnel is like, what kind of testimonials and everything they have here. Masterclass is mastering scale as a media business. This is a little older one, so I wouldn't recommend reading this one. Okay, I think if I had to get started, I would read this one first, okay, because it talks about the 5-year journey that this brand has had, and it's close to $1 billion in valuation. So that is terrific. Organically, they get this many people. Oh my goodness gracious. Love this. Anyway, this is how you can find out about the startups which are doing this and how they are doing it. Okay. Now, the key in the e-learning industry is not really to find out the best of every industry and find out how you can also replicate that. It's about understanding and really understanding what audiences want and what they do not like. Okay. So one of the things that I want you to know is how to figure out which other clients you should work for and who are not really good for your business. In the e-learning industry, since it's an unregulated industry, that's anyone can say that I'm good at it. Okay. And as long as people believe them, they are good to go usually. There's no degrees or certificates here. So how do you take up legit people? One of the things that I heavily recommend doing is go to this channel. Let me close all of this. So just search the term authentic or charlatan and you will find Spencer Cornelia's channel very easily. And he has made a lot of videos on some of the leading brands and businesses in the e-learning space. And he has talked about whether he thinks they are legit or not. Okay. Most of them he thinks are not legit. Some, yeah, they are indeed. So you can see what are the things he's pointing out to be fake. What are the things he thinks could be better? What are the things he's like divided about? And you can see that in your clients. Okay. So for example, if you take up a client who is actually not good at what they do, the problem would be that you'll not be able to sell for them. Okay. And even if you are, the sales will stop after a while because the clients or clients customers will be unhappy with their purchase. So you need to take up the best. See, you need to know the bad about an industry before you get in, because you will have to deal with the bad. You cannot just look at the good side of it and be like, oh, that's amazing, this is how money is made. You have to deal with the ugly part of the industry. Like a big part of my work is constantly telling my clients that don't do this, don't do that, you look bad if you do that, because the image is very important in this, especially if you're doing in the second aspect, which is personal branding. So this is my favorite resources on e-learning, and I hope that you really enjoyed. I hope that I was able to explain well. I just woke up in the morning and I'm shooting it, so I'm just a mess right now. But if you enjoyed it, do let me know, because your feedback helps me a lot. It pushes me to, try to educate people better. And yeah, have a good day. I hope you enjoyed. I look forward to stay connected with you. And thank you so much for giving me your time. Bye.